Angry guy here, and a prison worker attacks single mothers for failing men. Do you get the long intro or the short intro today? I don't know. You guys have not been so good to me. You get the short intro. Prison worker attacks single mothers for failing men. We're going to jump right into this momentarily. A woman who worked at a prison for a number of years. She worked as a tutor. She worked with men who were, some of them very violent, very delinquent, but she actually had some very interesting thoughts about who these people were. And I'm going to go ahead and play the video because I want you to see this. I want you to basically hear her perspective on what men are really like and insights into insights into male psychology. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Dun, 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 dun.
What if I told you, Leah?
Okay.
I spent 4 years working in a male prison with some of the most violent offenders in New Jersey. I tutored inmates that were convicted as juveniles, so no matter the crime, in New Jersey, they could not serve life. So needless to say, I felt like this was a cause worth investing my time in. But after 4 years, I didn't just walk away knowing that a few more people on this planet could do calculus. I walked away with an invaluable understanding of male psychology. Listen, I'm not comparing every male brain to that of a convicted felon, but I will say I don't think a lot of these men were born bad. I realized that almost every single one of them shared something: the lack of a father figure. It doesn't matter how strong and independent their mother was. At the end of the day, nothing is as important to a young man's development as a strong father. If you take anything from this video, let it be this: our species needs the nuclear family to survive long term. So stop at nothing to demand paternal rights from our court systems, even if it doesn't affect you personally. I promise you it will one day in some way, shape, or form.
See,
What if I told you, Leah?
See, guys.
What if I told you?
Shit.
I spent 4 years working at a male.
So, guys, here's what's actually happening. I actually talked about this before. Talked about this years ago. I said that women are going to say that feminism got us everything that we wanted, and now let's fight it together. What women are witnessing is a breakdown of society. The foundation of society is not men and women. The foundation of a society is men. Look at Ukraine. Right now, when the Ukrainian war broke out, the women left the country. The men, 18 and older, were forced to stay in the country. You weren't forced to fight, but you couldn't leave. All right? You could not leave. Why? Because when the men leave, there's no more country. When the men leave the country, there is no more country. That's the end of it. And some women are beginning to realize we're at the end right now. Feminism got them everything they wanted, but society is complete rubbish. Men don't want to be men anymore. Men don't want to have children. Men don't want to participate. Come 2030, 45% of all women from the ages from 25 through 44 are going to be single. All right? And a lot of women are beginning to call this bullshit out. They're calling these single women empowered, while they're calling the equivalent of single men as lonely. You're empowered to be single, ladies. Well, but if it's men, they're lonely. In reality, what's happening is men are just dropping out of society entirely. Guys, think about this very, very carefully. 80% of all the men in jail came from fatherless homes. 80%. We can infer that the other 20% are likely comprised, and maybe not all of them, but many of them are composed of non-violent offenders. Okay? Think about it carefully. Right? So the majority of that 80%, all right, we know it, 80% of those of the offenders in jail are come from fatherless homes and single mother homes, so no fathers in the homes. And we can incur that most of that 80%, if not all of that 80%, are people who are in jail because they committed violent crimes. Right? They committed violent crimes. The other 20% of the people who are in jail are probably there for non-violent offenses, most of them. So we're talking about white-collar crimes like check fraud and stupid shit, and stupid shit. Basically, they didn't actually kill anyone. They didn't hurt anyone physically. No one died. No one was in harm's way. Stuff like that. These guys are non-violent criminals. All right? Now, if you take this into consideration, When you really factor this, you have to understand that most black women today in America are unmarried. Like they're like, I mean, like literally Beyonce put out a song, all the single ladies, like literally making it an anthem. Like being single is something to be proud of. You know, being a single mother is something to be proud of. But the thing is, if you really do the math, you would realize that blacks make up 50% of the blacks make up not 50 blacks make up only 13% of the population but commit 50% of the crimes, and 80% of the children in jail 80% of children in jail come from single mother households. All right. And black women make up predominantly they predominantly make up have the largest proportion ratio of single mother households in the United States. So if you really do the math, you would realize that black women are by majority responsible for most of the violent crimes in the United States indirectly, because they are putting children and bringing children into this world that are going on to rapidly become violent felons. Just having a father in the home does a number of things. One, yes, it does teach children to have respect for authority, but it also tells them something else. It tells them that they are protected, so they don't have to go looking for love on the street from violent thugs. You know, there's a song from Tupac. Y'all listen. Y'all remember Tupac? There was a line in one of his songs where he said, you know, and he said something about drug dealers. He said, and even though they sold drugs, they sure showed a young brother love. And that's how a lot of guys end up in gangs, because they don't have a father figure at home, and a mother cannot be a father. A mother cannot raise boys. All right? So you end up with these young men on the street looking for a father figure, and they end up with gangs. And it happens to girls as well. It's the truth. It happens to girls as well. All right? Because they don't respect authority. They don't respect anything. They don't even respect themselves, and then they end up on OnlyFans. All right. If you want a great predictor of who's gonna end up on OnlyFans, did you have a daddy in your life? No. Oh, you're an OnlyFans model then, huh? I'm not saying that it happens all the time, but that's really how it is. A lot of it's not having a father in the home is like it's the greatest predictor of who's gonna end up in jail, who's gonna end up homeless, who's gonna end up using drugs. You know, it's true. And not having a father in the home, or not having a good father in the home, because sometimes you can have a father there, but if they're not involved in the lives of their children, that's almost as bad as if they weren't there to begin with. But a lot of the blame comes from the mother, because it's like women act like they're powerless, but then they say that they're powerful. They're powerful victims. That's what it is. All right, they are powerful victims, and as society is beginning to deteriorate, now you're seeing women like this that are trying to say, "Oh, we need more men. We need the men." The men are checking out. The men are walking away, going hashtag MWA. Men are walking away. Men are walking away from Western society and Western women, and they're going, and either they're dropping out of society and only doing the bare minimum to survive, or they're going overseas to live simpler lives with feminine and traditional women. And this is not going to be a trend that is reversed anytime soon, because there is zero trust for American women in the United States. Guys are literally going to the gym trying to work out, and women are putting cameras on them and saying, "Look at this guy looking at me. Look at this guy looking at me." Men cannot even coexist in society with women anymore. That's how bad it is. Okay? Men have literally just had it. Men are fed up. Men are out. And, women seem to think that they can continue doing this crap. Even Chad and Tyrone are getting tired of this bullshit. All right? Chad is not taking you hold on. Chad is running around doing all kinds of bullshit. All right? And then when his ass gets old, he's going overseas too. When his ass, Chad, listen to me. Chad can't do this shit forever. Chad can't do this shit forever. All right? Chad will get old too. And when Chad gets old, he's going overseas. He's going overseas. All right? And Tyrone is a sad motherfucker. Like a lot of these women still trying to fuck with Tyrone. And Tyrone, listen to me, Tyrone's gonna get high. If at some point Tyrone's getting high blood pressure, he's gonna get diabetes because Tyrone doesn't eat. Tyrone doesn't eat right. He eats, but he's not eating right. Okay, he eats well, but he's not eating right. Okay, because he damn well knows. He damn well knows he's supposed to be watching. He has diabetes. He has a family history of diabetes. All right, but he doesn't want. But he still eats whatever the fuck he wants to eat. All right, smoking his weed and drinking his drink. Okay, and he knows that shit isn't good for him. And then when he ends up with type 2 diabetes, he doesn't give a fuck. All right, until they start talking about amputations and shit. That's a whole other story. What I'm making is that these men are not reliable men for women to have a future with. Okay, all right. A lot of these motherfuckers who get the fuck out when they get the opportunity to do. And now the society is breaking down. You have women like this that are trying to say, okay, well, men need to be men again. Get the fuck out of here. Guys, what do you think about this? About this prison worker who attacks single mothers for failing men? Like I said that women were going to say feminism got us everything that we wanted, and now let's fight it together, because they're realizing we're heading towards a society where no one wants to live. No one wants to be in the society anymore. Men are checking out, and women, time is running out. Without strong men, there's no society. There's no resources. There's nothing. There are no opportunities for women. All right? There's only social breakdown and decay. But I want to know what you guys think. So let's talk about that in the comments. And if you're enjoying these videos, you need to subscribe. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. There's nothing greater than hitting the subscribe button and saying, hey, I'm going to subscribe. And guys, if you're also enjoying this, subscribe. Join me on Subscribestar, to get access to bonus videos and exclusive content. Go ahead and hit the like button if you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers. Am I supposed to do anything else after this? After that, cheers. I could sing about the Sandy man. I don't really feel like singing about Sandy. He's kind of a pain in the butt. We haven't spoken really in years. Yeah, anyway, cheers. That's that.